OU has a new member of the Board of Regents, how the weekend weather will impact travels, and a dance marathon to benefit a local hospital. This is OU Nightly. Hello and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Aspen Endriss.
And I'm William Soule.
We begin tonight with a newly named member of the OU Board of Regents.
This afternoon, Governor Kevin Stitt appointed Eric Stevenson to the board when two seats on the board became open recently. Governor Stitt expressed his desire to appoint someone who would bring more diversity to the Regents, and this appointment does just that. OU Nightly's Lauren Linville is live at the Capitol with more about this new member. Lauren?
Will and Aspen, Governor Stitt announced that OU graduate and businessman Eric Stevenson will join the OU Board of Regents. This decision comes after the governor and OU President James Gallagly emphasized the need for more diversity on the board after racial incidents on the OU campus.
And we all agreed it was equally critical to find an Oklahoman that would bring diversity to the board. That would represent a large portion of our students at the University of Oklahoma.
I'm anxious to learn more about some of the issues that are happening, and we'll certainly talk and partner and collaborate in the best way that we can.
A 1985 graduate of the university and Wagner, Oklahoma native, Stevenson currently lives in Columbus, Ohio, and works at Nationwide as the Senior Vice President of Retirement Plans Distribution.
I'm excited for this opportunity and also humbled by this. Really because of what the university meant to me. The University of Oklahoma literally changed my life.
The OU Board of Regents is the governing body of multiple universities in the state.
On behalf of the University of Oklahoma, Cameron University, and Rogers State, welcome home.
Stevenson will serve a seven-year term and will commute from Ohio to Oklahoma for meetings. The Board of Regents still has one more spot to fill after Bill Burgess died last month. Reporting live from the Oklahoma State Capitol, Lauren Linville.
Thank you, Lauren. And it looks like Oklahomans need to bundle up this weekend.
And Jake Mammen has a first look at the forecast. Jake, I hear we're not done with this weather quite yet.
That's right, William and Aspen. It's March 1st, and the spring-like weather is going to have to wait for a little bit. Winter's still holding strong. 38 here in Oklahoma City, 30 in Norman, 63 out there in Guyman, so they're starting to warm up, but that winter weather is on the way this weekend. Here's that low-pressure system that's sitting right over the Rockies right now, and as we go into the weekend, you'll see it start to gradually make its way into northern Texas, where we could see chances for wintry precip here in Oklahoma with those temperatures dropping as well. So coming up in Maine weather, we'll have a little bit more on the cold weekend ahead, when we could see those wintry precip chances and who might see them, and more on those dangerous wind chills. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Jake. And Norman police have put a 65-year-old man behind bars, accusing him of lewd proposals to a child. Police say David Wells has been communicating online with an undercover detective who is posing as a young girl. The two chatted over 12 days, and during that time, officers say Wells described sexual acts he wanted to perform, knowing that the individual was a minor. Police then arranged a meeting and arrested him without incident. Wells is in the Cleveland County Jail on charges of lewd proposals to a child and possession of a firearm while in commission of a felony. And Emma Sears joins us in the News Center with information on TSA workers who have yet to receive their back pay.
It has been more than a month since the government's longest shutdown in U.S. history ended, and there is still a significant number of Transportation Security Administration or TSA employees who have still not received all of their back pay. The delay is due to an unusual move during the shutdown to pay partial paychecks to workers in order to keep them at their jobs. Hundreds of TSA workers were called out from the work during the shutdown, and officials from the National TSA Employee Union said many of the callouts were due to financial hardship. The son of Osama bin Laden is taking over as the leader of the terror group Al-Qaeda. The U.S. State Department made a statement that Hamza bin Laden has released audio and video messages to the internet where he is calling his followers to launch attacks on the U.S. and its Western allies in revenge for the killing of his father. The U.S. is offering a $1 million reward for the information on Hamza bin Laden's whereabouts. U.S. officials estimate that Hamza bin Laden is between the ages of 30 and 33. Lyft has filed paperwork for its long-awaited public offering this afternoon. In the filing, Lyft revealed plans to create 2 classes of stock, one of which will come with 20 votes per share and will be awarded to the founders. The move echoes the approach of tech companies like Facebook, Google, and Snapchat, each of which created a dual-class structure to give their founders a majority of voting control. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Emma. OG&E is warning its customers about fake phone calls to its customers. The company says it has reports of people using software that allows OG&E to show up as their caller ID.
It's probably every week or every other week that we're hearing some customer calling in saying, hey, this person called me. I want to make sure this is fair or real. And we will never be that forceful or really threatening.
OG&E says it never calls and asks for payments over the phone, so if someone claiming to be an employee calls and asks for your money, it is an immediate red flag. And thousands of students will gather tomorrow for a good cause. OU's largest student-run philanthropy is back after raising $1 million last year.
Plus, a way to donate books to help Oklahoma public schools. Stay with us.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Tomorrow, thousands of OU students will gather at the Sarkey's Fitness Center for a 12-hour dance marathon. Soonerthon benefits the Oklahoma Children's Hospital Foundation and Children's Miracle Network hospitals to help fund research and improve quality of care. The pledge to stand for 12 hours represents the hours of healthcare professionals stand during their shifts. Soonerthon broke records last year, raising over $1 million. While tomorrow is the big day, students have been working for months to try and make this year's Soonerthon just as successful.
So we've had fundraising days, we've had days that we're trying to get people to sign up more, we've had like logistics meetings, we've had dance practices, and basically everything in between.
Soonerthon starts tomorrow at 10 in the morning.
And Sooner Theater Initiatives Applause for the Cause is hosting a fundraising concert Sunday at 8:30. The concert is being held at the Weisenhofer Theater. They are selling tickets for $4 and raffle tickets for $1. On the list of performances are various performing art majors. One special guest on the list is Vandala Rose.
And OU's Black Student Association is continuing their month-long book drive. In celebration of Black History Month, BSA's book drive aims to help Oklahoma City public school students feel represented by the books they are reading.
So we reached out to a couple of schools, Thelma Parks Elementary, Dove Science Academy, and Northeast Academy. And so we're actually going to separate them by genre for age, and then we're going to go take them there, and then we'll probably read to one of the classes at Dove Science Academy.
BSA has received 300 books to date, but hopes to reach 500 by March 18th. And coming up after the break, the comedy world celebrates the retirement of a beloved character.
And Jake is back with a closer look at the weekend's forecast.
That's right, guys. Winter is staying strong, but the snow and the cold is coming up this week, and I'll have more on that coming up after the break. And welcome back to OU Nightly. The clouds are sticking around right now. It's cold outside, and currently for tonight, the lows will be in the mid to upper 20s across the state with that north breeze coming out from the north. And so here we're going to start to take a look at our wintry precip for this weekend. What can we expect as far as winter weather goes? Friday night into Saturday, and the portions shaded in purple, you can begin to see a chance where there's going to be some freezing, drizzle, and some rain in places south of Lawton, Norman, and McAllister is where we'll see the biggest chances for rain and drizzle. Highs for tomorrow, mid to upper 30s across the state, 40 in Tulsa, 35 here in Oklahoma City, 35 in Norman with the breeze out of the northeast. For Saturday evening, this is where we'll start to see our greatest chances for snow in northern portions of Oklahoma. Everywhere else shaded in orange is where we can see our biggest chance for some wintry mix, where we could see freezing rain, freezing drizzle start to change over to snow as those temperatures gradually drop. And then for the biggest chances of rain here in southeastern Oklahoma. For Saturday night and early Sunday, that snow will still continue in northern Oklahoma, but we start to see the snow shift to the south a little bit. Again, still wintry mix along I-40 that will start to cause some impacts as far as travel goes. The elevated surfaces and the bridges will become slick and hazardous. The rain still sticking strong here in southeastern Oklahoma. For your Saturday night and early Sunday, again, the snow will still start to drop to the south, just below Oklahoma City, where we could see chances for snow along I-40. Those travel impacts will slowly deteriorate in central Oklahoma. That wintry mix moves to the south. In Norman, we could see, freezing rain, some snow maybe or later on in Saturday evening as those temperatures still continue to drop as they move south. For snow, as far as snow totals go, we can see the greatest amount for snow up in northern Oklahoma. Guyman, Miami will see the greatest chances for snow. 1 to 3 inches, Woodward, Enid, Tulsa. Anywhere in Tulsa you can see 1 to 3 inches, and then less than 1 inch along I-40 and here in central Oklahoma, dusting to 1 inch maybe here in Norman. For wind chills, this is going to be the big story this weekend. Those wind chills will begin to drop throughout the weekend. On Sunday, 7-degree wind chill in Oklahoma City, 8 in Norman, and then as we continue on into Sunday night and Monday morning is when they can really start to drop. -4 in Oklahoma City, -3 in Norman, so be mindful of that. Coming up, don't leave your pets out for too long. Bundle up, make sure you bring a coat, jacket, and don't be fooled. Those wind chills does not mean that the temperature is actually that cold. So keep that in mind with these wind chills. Saturday and Sunday, our greatest chances on Saturday, 70%, 30 on Sunday, mixed precip on Saturday. Those wind chills come in here on Sunday. And for the rest of the week, we start to kind of dry things out and warm things up. 55 on Thursday, 57 on Friday. Guys, that's what I have. Back to you.
And after 20 years, Tyler Perry has announced that he's retiring Mabel Medea Simmons. The announcement comes after the final installation of the Medea movies, A Medea Family Funeral.
The beloved character has appeared in 10 different movies after her debut in 2005. But don't panic, because Perry will be taking her and the whole family on a farewell stage tour across the country.
And that's all the time we have right here at the desk, but don't go anywhere. Big Friday Sports is up next.
Parker and the team have all your Sooner sports info, including how the OU football alumni are doing in the NFL Combine.
Thanks, Aspen and William. We've got a jam-packed show ahead for you. OU softball, baseball, basketball, and as you mentioned, we'll take a look at how the Sooner standouts are faring at the NFL Combine. All that and more ahead on Big Friday Sports. What's up, everybody? This is Big Friday Sports. Parker Thune alongside Brooke Murski, taking you all the way up to the top of the hour. Now, Brooke, it's brutally cold today. I respect anybody who's willing to brave these temperatures.
I agree, Parker. One of our own reporters is doing just that. Zach Brown is live from OU softball's home opener. Zach?
A gloomy day hasn't rained on the ladies' home opener as they... I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, go.
A gloomy day hasn't rained on the ladies' home opener as they have gotten the first game of their doubleheader off with a bang. Are we on? Oh, in today's first game against Oregon State, they didn't allow a single run all day as the game was still going on. And the weather didn't keep the fans away. Mariah Lopez was on the hill, and as usual, she was in top form. She went her entire outing pumping in strike after strike, allowing no runs. Her catchy Lindsay Elam also provided some offense. In the second game against Louisiana, superstar Giselle Juarez will be in the circle. The team has championship aspirations and has looked the part so far. Reporting live from Arita Hines Field, Zach Brown, Big Friday Sports.
Thanks, Zach. Meanwhile, OU baseball hosts a big weekend series against an Ivy League foe. Alex Antonides has the details.
The Oklahoma Sooners baseball team returns to action today as they begin a doubleheader against Columbia. The Sooners are looking to remain hot after taking 2 of 3 games last weekend in California and also picking up a midweek win over Arkansas Pine Bluff.
I think we're meshing really well, especially at the start of the season. You know, it's always comforting knowing that we're starting out the season on the right foot.
OU comes into this weekend series 7-1 on the season. While this is Columbia's first action of the year, the Lions will be a tough test as they are the defending Ivy League champions, and this is the Sooners' 3rd game in 5 days after a long trip out west.
We get in at 1:30 on Sunday night. They got to go to class. They have a day off on Monday, and it's still, coming into Tuesday, it's still, it's tough on them.
Now, Game 2 of today's doubleheader is just underway right behind me. And tomorrow, the Sooners and the Lions will also play 2 as well because of possible weather coming into the area on Sunday. First pitch is at 1 o'clock right here at Elldale Mitchell Park. For Big Friday Sports, Alex Antonides.
And in Game 1 of today's doubleheader, OU topped Columbia 12-3, so good things happening on the diamond. But on the hardwood, the Sooner men need a spark. Lon Kruger and company are sitting on the March Madness bubble as they welcome West Virginia tomorrow.
OU will need Christian Doolittle to perform like he did on Monday when he led the Sooners with 15 points and 11 rebounds. Tip-off is at 1 o'clock at the Lloyd Noble Center. And it's almost senior night for women's hoops as the Sooners prepare to host TCU tomorrow. They'll be saying goodbye to the class of 2019.
Yeah, they'll be holding a pregame ceremony at 4:15 to honor their 2 seniors. Admission is free, and they'll be raffling off a TV to one lucky fan, so you know I'll be there. Tip-off is at 4:30.
Now, Parker, there's a lot going on in Norman this weekend, not the least of which is a big matchup in women's gymnastics. The UCLA Bruins are coming to town, and neither them nor the Sooners have lost yet.
Yeah, Brooke, when they faced off last season, there were 10s all over the board between Brenna Dowell, Maggie Nichols, and Anastasia Webb. OU set several records in that meet, so I'm excited to see what will happen. As for the other Sooner sports teams in action this weekend, we've got the rundown for you. Brooke, what can we look forward to?
Well, here you go. Let's see it. Men's tennis meets Tulsa this evening. Meanwhile, the men's golf team takes a trip to Sin City to play in the Southern Highlands Collegiate Tournament. And the women's tennis team is in action Sunday morning against Purdue.
Plenty happening in Sooner sports. We'll step aside a moment, but when we return, the Sooners are showing out at the NFL Combine.
Plus, can the Thunder get back on track after a 3-game slide? Back in a flash on Big Friday Sports.
Welcome back to Big Friday Weather. If you guys are headed out this weekend to watch the Sooners in action, keep in mind that on Saturday, our biggest chance of wintry precip is going to happen in the evening hours. However, it will continue to kind of precipitate on Saturday, changing from rain to freezing rain to snow in some areas. So be mindful on your way home from those events to watch the roadways. Those bridges and overpasses will become slick over the hours on Saturday evening. On Sunday, our temperature is 25. We have a slight chance of wintry precip in the morning in the AM, mainly snow probably here in central Oklahoma. But again, if you guys do attend those events this weekend, make sure you're bringing jackets, gloves, scarves, hats, as that wind will be coming out of the north at a pretty fast speed. So, and that'll cool the temperatures down a bit there. So mixed precip on Saturday, wind chills dipping, Sunday wind chills, and very dangerous on Sunday as well. Brooke, Parker, back to you guys.
Thanks, Jake. Brooke, once again, I did not receive an invite to the NFL Combine this year. I'm only a little upset. I've been training pretty hard for the bench press.
Well, Parker, you don't need to hang your head because OU is well represented at this weekend's Combine. Obviously, Kyler Murray and Rodney Anderson are there. However, the biggest story may be the quartet of Sooner linemen at the Combine.
NFL GMs, take note. Powers, Ford, Evans, Samia, these guys are tanks with bright futures in the league.
From Indianapolis back here to Oklahoma, the Thunder have hit a skid as they've now lost 3 straight.
It's been a rough week for OKC, and that continued last night at the Peak. Russell Westbrook put up a triple-double, no surprise there, but the Thunder couldn't overcome 32 points from Tobias Harris and the red-hot Philadelphia 76ers. OKC falls 108 to 104.
They'll try to right the ship tomorrow night as they visit the San Antonio Spurs. And Parker, I bet you wish you were playing golf in sunny Florida right now.
I mean, don't we all? Regardless, the PGA does visit the Sunshine State this weekend for the Honda Classic. The second round is wrapping up, and here's a look at your current leaderboard. And as you'll see, Sungjae Im and Keith Mitchell tied atop the leaderboard at 6 under. 1 shot back. In third place is Lucas Glover.
Well, back to the basketball court we go. Last night was quite a night in college hoops.
Buzzer beaters galore. Wichita State and UConn. Samaje Haynes-Jones for the win. How about another? Arizona and Oregon State. Devonair Detrieve with the putback at the horn for the Wildcats. And just for good measure, UCLA taking on USC. Look at this shot from Jalen Hands. The OT dagger out of nowhere, not a buzzer beater, but absurd nonetheless. The Bruins win 93 to 88.
And here's one game you probably weren't paying attention to. Cal Poly and Cal State Fullerton.
Now that's Fullerton senior and team manager Sammy Jones driving for the hoop and the harm. And of course you know what comes next. Jones is going to go to the charity stripe, and as you'll see, he's going to take a couple dribbles, get himself set.
Let's see.
And he cashes in on the and one, a night and a moment he will never forget.
Now, Parker, we are very thankful for those who invest in us here at Gaylord College.
We certainly are. Thanks to your generosity, we and a few others got to be part of a pretty cool experience last month. Have a look.
Nashville, Tennessee, the music capital of the nation, host to a vibrant nightlife, and the home of the College Media Institute's sports reporting workshop. Every winter, 8 Gaylord College students and 1 professor set out to represent the University of Oklahoma at the event. On February 7th, we got up in the early hours of the morning to make the trip to the Music City. From the Will Rogers World Airport in OKC, we took a connecting flight to Houston, where we had a short layover before boarding another plane to Nashville. Once we arrived, we had just enough time to check into our hotel before the first sessions of the workshop began. Off we went to the John Siegenthaler Center at the University of Vanderbilt. Over the next 48 hours, we attended a total of 12 seminars featuring prominent sportscasters and other industry professionals, including Gaylord's own Barry Orr. Headlining the event was Vanderbilt alumnus and ESPN baseball reporter Buster Olney, who took a moment to speak with me and encouraged us to make the most of the workshop.
I certainly remember when I was in college, just when you would bump into a journalist, someone who'd been doing it, you just absolutely feasted on the information they would give to you.
And we certainly did feast, not just on the information, but on the Nashville experience. We relished the friendship, the food, and the fun.
Here with Kurt Watson, your thoughts on today?
After the requisite stop for some Nashville hot chicken, it was finally time to head for home. As we made the journey back to Norman, less than 72 hours of our lives had elapsed, but in that time span we witnessed tremendous growth. Growth as travelers, growth as friends, and above all, growth as journalists.
And thank you again. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for on this day, but it's always a great day to be a Sooner. Thanks so much for joining us on Big Friday Sports, and we'll see you next Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.